What is up, everybody? I am letting people in. We're going to get started here.
Hello, lovely Laurel. How you doing?
I
Give
am
you
doing all right. So,
you can
what we're
start.
actually going to be doing today is we are going to be doing a different kind of style of call. Like, because typically we have open Q&A or typically we do a workshop. This is something that Nick and I do within the Success Circle, and it's called the Arena. And so I have actually asked Nick, for those of you guys who don't know, he's been my mentor for the last 4.5, almost 5 years now. And I always like to say that he's like my secret weapon behind my success. And I've just been very fortunate that he is now, I'm able to share him with you guys. Thank you, Nick, for being here. But we do these arena style calls, and I'm going to let Nick explain kind of the principle behind them and why we actually prefer to do the calls that way. But I just wanted to just say, hey, everyone, this is going to be, like I just said, like just kind of a different style of call than what we're used to. But I think everyone's going to enjoy it because no matter whether you're in the hot seat or whether you're just an attendee, everyone is going to benefit from this call. And that's the most important thing. So for those of you guys who don't know, like I said, this is Nick Peterson. For those of you guys who don't know him, he has been working with me over the last 4.5 years. We do a mastermind together called the Success Circle. And we do these arena style calls every single month. And one thing that I have noticed is once we started implementing a rule that a lot of you guys have probably seen inside the Facebook group called engaging the field. And that means that we must go out and do something before asking for support. There's no more hypothetical questions like, if I launch 3 power content videos, what will happen? Well, we don't know. Go launch them and then see what happens and then bring it back to us and we'll evaluate the data together. But Nick, do you want to kind of explain, why, we started doing these types of calls within, the mastermind and how it actually benefits not only everyone sitting in the room, but it actually benefits the person who is in the hot seat as well?
Yeah. So the whole concept, the arena, I built the arena because I have very high level clients, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and there's a certain way that they operate, and then you get these like free subscribers and these lower ticket subscribers and these courses and events and there's a clear difference in the way that they operate, and it's one of the reasons you hear it all the time, like somebody pays $10,000 and they're like, cool, let's go, and somebody pays $1,000 and they got a bunch of questions. It's it's the operating system. And the best way to think about it, in my opinion, is we're all kind of familiar with the difference between a classroom intelligence, like classroom knowledge, book smart, and street smart. And the people that do tens of millions, hundreds of millions and above, they're street smart. They may be educated, but they're street smart. And how do you get street smart? You engage the field. And so we're saying, okay, how do we bridge the gap? Because we do it one on one, but not everybody can afford one on one, and sometimes distance, geography is limiting, and so we said, okay, what are the characteristics that get people past this hump? And it is, excuse me, it is the ability to engage the field. So the arena structure was like, okay, how can we teach this? And then how can we teach it in a way that other people can observe it? Because you can learn a lot by observing. Uh, so the structure is this, and this is taking classroom knowledge and turning it into street smarts, or you might see it plank knowledge or chauffeur knowledge into plank knowledge. And to Laurel's point, you've all been in the classroom where it's a vacuum. There's right answers on all the tests. You got to study to get the right answers. The real world doesn't work that way. The real world is dynamic. It's moving. If I go try to hitchhike and I put my thumb out and you go try and hitchhike, we're not going to get the same results. We look different. We give off a different vibe. We're in a different area. So it's like, cool. How long did you hitchhike before somebody picked you up? That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be the same for you. And that's what we want to do in the arena, is help people realize that here's a generalization. Here's a bunch of averages. Here's what Laurel does. Here's what we see. Sometimes none of that applies to you. it's a range, right? So you have kind of an idea of where you need to be, but you won't know what applies to you until you engage the field. So the arena structure is this. Hey, after you engage the field, you come and you say, here's the resource that I'm talking about. And that's just a communication thing. It's like if somebody walks in your house randomly and goes, where is it? Like, where is what? How do you expect me to answer that question? And so when you come into Laurel's program and you're like, so what do I do in part 3? Part 3 of what? Which module are you referring to? You know, hey, I read something that said this. Okay, what did you read? Because I need to understand the context. Like the question you're asking has a contextual framework that I need to understand. So that's the first one, is make it explicit. You could say, hey, I watched day 2 of the 2024 with Laurel, which is magical math. Okay, now we all know what you're talking about. We're all kind of talking about the same thing. So that's the first one. This is the source that I'm referencing, because Laurel has a lot of stuff floating around. So do I. So this is the source I'm referencing. And this is what I did. Not here's all the questions I have before I do something, but this is what I did. And if you didn't do something, go do something. And then you say, this is what I did. You say, I did, the source is day 1 of 2024 with Laurel, recapture, reallocate. What I did was I recaptured, I don't know, $2,000 a year. And now I don't know what to do with that cash. How do I best use that cash? So you see, here's the resource. I did a thing, and now that thing gave us data or resources or something. And now we got to figure out what to do next. And the only way to know what to do next is with that data. So here's the resource that I'm referencing. Here's what I did. And then you either can solve or share. So you can say, I did this and it worked really well. So I just wanted to tell everybody that this is another way you could try to do it. That's your contribution. Or you can say, I did this. This is what happened. Now I don't know what to do next. And because you showed up with the data, me, Laurel, anybody else that knows what they're doing will be able to give you something far more useful for you. So hopefully that makes sense. I'd get in the habit of what happens is you get better results, you get better coaching, you get better, you ask better questions, you ask questions that are specific to you. And so everything you do becomes more effective. Every interaction you have inside this program or outside this program becomes more effective. And so it's just developing the skill of engaging the field, taking small steps, getting the data, and then practicing the art of asking the question you mean to ask, which is a whole nother thing that people tend to struggle with.
Yep, 100%. And you guys are going to see that we're going to start adopting this framework, because there's nothing that pains me more than to get a question in the Ask Laurel thread and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell this person is asking. They have not given me context. And you know, we built this program so that you guys can get fast results, but we are limited, right? We are limited by the way that you ask the question. And so we just want to make sure that everyone's getting, you know, taken care of. And so did everyone write down those questions that that Nick went over? Because that's what we're going to do. This is not going to be an open Q&A. As a matter of fact, it's going to be, again, here's the resource. And I wouldn't think that I'd have to say this, but I know we did another one and someone was bringing resources from outside of another program. Make sure that the resource is in my program or something that I have given you or Nick has given you, because we obviously can't offer support on something that we ourselves don't know about. So make sure it is a resource that we have given you. Let us know exactly what you did. And then let us know, is this a share, or do you want us to help you solve that most immediate constraint, right? And the best use of these types of calls are to solve your most immediate constraint, right? Because everyone, that's the way that you get where you need to go. You know, it's like kind of like having a whole bunch of kinks in a hose, right? You can't go anywhere if you're just randomly unkinking everything. You want to unkink the next most immediate constraint so that we can move things through. Anything else, Nick, before we actually get started?
Nothing else. Just if I don't know if you share this replay, but write this down and keep working on that. The most immediate constraint is one of the most powerful concepts. If you can learn how to identify the most immediate constraint, you will learn how to get unstuck, which means you'll keep moving forward.
Yep. And we know that this is going to be a little wonky because this is the first call. So just be patient with everyone as we help them go through that process. It's always a little wonky the first call. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Rose. So Rose, what resource are we going to be talking about today?
So we're talking about the value bombs that
Okay.
I have. Yeah, the value bombs. That's
Okay. So we're talking about you watched the value bomb training.
yes.
Okay. What did you do?
So I created 7 value bombs that, I used the value bomb concept to create 90-second videos to invite people to my immersive experience event, which is a launch coaching week.
Okay.
And
So you didn't make a value bomb. You made a 60 or a 90-second reels video that invites people to, because I just want to make
Yes.
sure that we're clear.
Yes.
And that's what this call is about, because we want to make sure that our terminology is correct and everything, because the last thing we want to do is not cause confusion. So you created a reels video inviting people to a free immersion. Okay.
Yes, except I used the value bomb concept and copy for it.
You used a reels copy. I just want to be absolute sure that we're using,
Okay.
because you might be confusing people, and that's what we want to avoid here. So you shot a 90-second video, a reels video that invites people to a free event.
Yes, but I also did use your examples of copy for hooks for value bombs. So maybe that's more clear that you shared with us a Google document.
You used my copy framework. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't want anyone getting confused.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So what happened when you did that? You used that, did you launch it organically? Did you launch it with ads?
Both.
Tell everybody everything that you did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
So
I
now what data do we have, and do we need to solve a problem, or is this a
Yes.
share? Okay.
It's a solve a problem question. I did both post it organically on
Okay.
Instagram and Facebook, but then I created Facebook ads inside of the Facebook
Okay.
ads manager, but I
Yep.
didn't use the organic post. I started from scratch.
That's okay.
Because of my financial constraints right now, I'm putting $1 a day on each of them, so that's $7 a day. The idea is to invite them to join, register into the immersion that starts July 4th, and I have so
Okay.
far
Did
13.
you use a conversion campaign, or are you using like a landing page? Like, kind of tell me a little bit more about how you're doing it, so that everyone can get a clear picture.
So I'm losing a landing page,
Okay.
and it's a conversion campaign. Yes.
Okay. So essentially it's an offer ad, a conversion ad. Okay.
Okay.
See,
Yeah,
this
I
is
might
why
have-
it's super important that we get the terminology right, because that is not a value bomb ad. Just so
Got
that.
it. So yeah, got it.
Okay.
I
So you did
I
an
mixed a couple
offer.
of things together.
Okay. No worries.
Two warm audience. Oh, that's important. Two warm audience only.
Okay.
Conversion campaigns, 90-second videos,
Okay.
$1 a day, 7 of them. I started 4 of them on Sunday, and 3 of them yesterday. So yes, not so much reach yet on the impressions yet.
Okay. So that's what you did. What do you need? What is the most immediate constraint with doing that? Like, what do you need our help solving today?
Yeah, since I can't really put a lot more money on them, I want to know how I can best utilize these, whether I should just keep them running for another week. I want as many people to join us on July 4th as possible, because it's my opportunity to invite them into the membership.
Okay.
They
How
already
many
know.
how many people have signed up from those ads so far?
I have people signed up. I don't know if they come from the ads or my emails, but I have 13 so far.
Okay.
And so far, but
Is the
also I have
is the Facebook ads manager telling you that there's signups?
the Facebook Ads Manager tells me only unique links, landing page views, and link clicks.
No, it should, if you're running a conversion campaign, it should tell you how many leads you got from there.
And so maybe it's not showing me that. I don't see that. I also don't see the.
Are you
the
sure that you're running a
column.
conversion campaign? Did you set the objective to lead?
I'm just looked it up because I'm in my ads manager, and it says conversion lead conversion event is lead. Yep.
Okay. Okay. And are there any leads there from the ad?
Yeah, that's what I'm not understanding, why I don't even see the column leads here in the ads manager.
Would you like to share your screen?
Yeah, please. Okay, thank you. Great. I'm getting nervous now. Wow, it's crazy. Here you go.
Okay.
Here are the 7. I'm scrolling.
Okay, so there's
So-
the lead per lead.
No
So it
leads.
does not appear that you have gotten any leads yet.
So
But-
then the 13 signups are from my emails then. Okay, got it.
Well, I mean, it could be from Facebook. Remember, Facebook is not very accurate.
Yeah.
So you are getting clicks, cost per
Yeah.
landing. So they are working. Look, the ads are working.
I also, I don't know how to improve this whole system because I learned
There's nothing to improve. You just need to let them run. Your ad metrics are good.
Got it. And keeping Laurel, I am being my brand, going live and giving value nearly every day.
Cool.
And sharing insights.
Okay, so that's it, right?
That's it.
She launched these ads. They're doing good. All she needs to do, she's got 13 signups and ad metrics look good. There's no action that I would take with your ads other than just letting them run.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick if you don't mind.
No, absolutely.
The number of times, so Laurel can tell you her story, where she was, where she's at, how much she was working before, how much she's working now, all that stuff, and she's open about it. The number of times, and this is why I still work with Laurel and happy to do anything for her like this, because she pays attention. The number of times where she said, "Hey, what should I do?" and I was like, "Go to the beach." Like legitimately just do nothing. And that is one of the biggest reasons that we've been able to make progress.
Uh-oh, Nick, your mic went out for some reason.
Oh no.
Oh, there you are. For some
All right.
reason it just went, there we go.
Okay. So one of the reasons she's been able to make so much progress is she hasn't optimized herself into oblivion, meaning most of the time, letting time pass is the right thing to do. And so if you come, it's really hard for us to value that. It's harder for us to value, hey, do nothing. And you're like, well, what am I paying you for then? You're paying me so that you do nothing because that's the best thing for you. And so just understand that if you give data to somebody you trust and they say, hey, the thing to do is nothing, that is the best advice you can get at this point.
Sometimes we just have to let marketing do its thing.
I mean, thank you. My husband will be happy, but there's still a lot I have to do, like sending out the emails. And one other strategy is
let's give respect to I don't want to cut you off, but like I want to make sure that everyone gets, like today it's about that one most immediate constraint. So you have access to Voxer, so like you can message me whatever else you need to do. Restraint, right? That's what Bill says. Restraint, right? Miss
Thank you.
Andrea.
Hi there. So my resource is one recent conversation we had in the arena, which you obviously remember, but also I want maybe to give the little feedback there. I went basically, I was thinking of using a challenge funnel. And so the resource was the phase 3 challenge, what do you call it, document or video actually you did there.
The profit
And
projection,
also,
right?
yeah, and also with that, some of the other funnels and doing basically the calculation. I think the point here is doing the calculation of what you plan, no matter what it is, no matter if you use ads or if you use the organic strategy or whatever it is really using the calculations before storming ahead.
Yep. So I'll pause right there. So just to make sure everyone grabbed that. So the resource that she is using on the last arena call, she was planning a challenge. And so I told her to go into phase 3 inside the $7 program and do that profit projection exercise so that she could identify what her profit projections and key metrics needed to be before she launches ads. Cool. Thank you, Andrea. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Based on this, I decided not to launch ads because they would
Me
have
and Dad are going to have half, and you have the other half.
okay.
Yep. I'll mute
Because
her.
that would have cost me a lot of money. And I'm nowhere near phase 3. I might have to perhaps add this. So I'm somewhere between organic and phase 1. So I'm nowhere phase 3. So a 6-word update, which we haven't had, is consider what worked in the past. So I just want to throw that one in. So basically I have, at the moment, I have a mastermind and I want to get 10 people into that mastermind, 10 clients. I have 3 already signed up. And I was, as I said, I was considering the challenge with ads. I still run the challenge, but that's another story. So basically I can get use your strategy, the organic lead generation, the videos, collaborations, or ads, right? So with the help of Nick, by the way, and also I must say my own help because I was looking into it. I went into the figures and I looked how I got those 3 clients and how I got also discovery sessions. So some of them didn't lead to clients. And I've been using a lot of collaborations in the past. So I obviously had those were indirectly or directly coming from collaborations. I have either been on their podcasts or I have been on their summits, or they reached out to me, or they came through a collaboration as sort of a lead through that collaboration, but all had that they all came clearly from collaboration. And Nick is probably laughing in the background because of course he's right. So anyway,
so this is something that Nick refers to as the rear view mirror, right?
that's what.
And one of the things that I want to point out that's really cool about what Andrea just said was she went in to the program, did her profit projections, and because she knew those numbers, she's like, this is not the correct strategy for me. And so she used the concept of the rear view mirror by looking past what has worked before. And so that's where she's at right now, because I think a lot of people missed that transformation, like that kind of like flow of what you just did, when in reality, that's the flow that I probably use with myself the most, is figuring out is this going to make sense? No. Okay, cool. What has worked in the past, and let me just do more of that. So that's really cool. So if I'm trying to bridge the gap here, because this is the first call, and what you said, Andrea, was really freaking good. So now you have, so you're looking into podcasts and all of that stuff now.
I am reconsidering it, or I'm working on it all the time in any case. However, because miss impatient, but also quite honestly, because I need to fill my get income, I'm obviously trying to accelerate this because collaborations do take time until you get there. So the question, I mean, it's kind of a share and a question, is there a way of accelerating using the collaborations? Is there a way of accelerating it?
You just do more. right?
Okay.
So how many podcasts have you reached out to? Like what, like we have to look at how much time do you have in order to get whatever it is done? Am I doing enough podcast episodes? Like whenever I was doing this, I was trying to, because I knew that if I had messenger conversations with everyone, I'm like, I can sell 100% into the $7 program. And so when I was looking at the collaborations, I was looking for the math. If I did 10 collaborations with people who could get at least 100 people on a Zoom call with me, I could close 30% of all of those people. So I was doing the math in my head, right? And so do you know right now whether or not you have enough collaborations booked out in order to hit your goal? That would be the math that I would be working on next. Like how many collaborations did it take for you to get those 3 clients? And from those collaborations, which of the types of collaborations did you do in order to get those 3 clients? And so those are all of the things that I would be trying to figure out.
So I hear you and I understand, and I've been tracking. Now, I was before in the nutrition business. Now I'm in the business coaching business. My clients are nutrition coaches, et cetera, right? And basically they come from my former collaborations, which at the time I was looking obviously to get clients as in the nutrition business, but kind of, I developed good relationships like we all do, and I could go back to them. Now I can still continue doing nutrition collaborations, but obviously, it would be maybe too much of an effort to go all in and hoping that eventually a podcast host needs some help
So let me, because I'm not clear. What is the most immediate constraint that you need help with right now in this
10
moment?
people in my mastermind.
Okay, but what's the most immediate constraint that we can actually help you do right now, right? Because you just said if you look in the rearview mirror, it's through collaborations. So what about getting collaborations is going to be the most helpful for us to give you some action steps?
Using the whole collaboration strategy to get faster people into my mastermind.
So we need to get data, right? And so we need to figure out, so have you dialed down like what type of collaboration strategy do you want to do? Do you want to get on podcasts? Do you want to do Facebook Lives in people's groups? Do you want to, like, what is the collaboration tactic that you want to try first?
Yeah, that I have that I'm clear on. It's podcasts and summits and being, workshops, podcast summits, workshops. I mean, they all work together.
Okay.
And I'm doing them sort of always constantly. I mean, I was on a podcast interview today and all that. So, I'm doing it regularly. I have probably to measure more with a new business goal, because before it was another goal I was doing this. So I have to change that probably in thinking around it in a new way.
Yeah. So your next action step is, I have X amount of time. How many podcast episodes can I get on, and how many summits can I get on?
Okay.
That's the next step. There, we have no data to figure out anything else until we figure that part out. Nick, do you have anything to add to that?
My Zoom's acting up here. No, I think the skill to develop, the most immediate constraint, just from the outside looking in, is the ability to identify the most immediate constraint. So that's something I would practice. It's kind of like if you want to master a bunch of things in your life, the first thing to master is probably mastery. It's a force multiplier. And so if you want to be able to move forward and remove constraints, then you have to learn how to identify the constraints.
Okay.
And what you did is, okay, I need more clients. Cool. Rearview mirror. Cool. And what Laurel just said is, see how many collaborations and podcasts and stuff you could do like that. Great. So when you start engaging the field to go do that, the number one thing that if this were true, I would be able to get more collaborations. That's the most immediate constraint. And if you can figure that out, then we can figure out how to make it true. Right. So we're not shooting in 15 different directions, hoping something sticks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And just so you guys know, we're going to try to get through as many people as possible. We've got 30 minutes left. And so we're going to rock and roll. Mr. Bill.
Good afternoon, everyone. Laurel, Nick. So mine is going to be a share. The resource that I used is the Power Offer. Running Power Offers to a static ad. So meaning static ad, non-video, text in a photo of myself, and running that at $10 a day. And so that was my action. What I discovered in that is, and this is I've now booked, I got another 4 booked calls on at $237 ad spend on the Power Offers. And I've got 1 book, 3 I have actually had conversations with, and 1 I will, at this point, we'll move into my one-on-one coaching program. The other one I moved into my private Facebook group.
So you sold 1 already?
Not yet, but he responded back. So that's the thing. So no is the answer to that, but he responded back to me where we'll be on a call tomorrow to kind of walk through what onboarding looks like. But he hasn't paid the money yet. So I have not been paid on that one yet, but
Okay,
I'm anticipating that. So I'm not going to count it till obviously the money goes in the bank. And then I have a book call scheduled for next Tuesday. So that would be 4 booked calls. 3 I already had, and then the 1, if it's a show next Tuesday on a $237 ad spend.
That is awesome. Just so you guys know, right? So he moved into phase 2. Remember, phase 2 is more expensive than phase 1. So in phase 2, we can expect $150 per booked call. If we do the math, Mr. Bill is like rocking and rolling because it's a little over $50 per booked call. So that is
$57.
awesome.
Yeah. And I sell, just so you know, I'm pretty transparent. So my one-on-one coaching program for 3 months, it's $1,000 a month. It's $3,000. So on a $57 booked call, that's going to turn me about 56 times it'll be a 56 ROAS, right? On that. So I just shared that with you just as a share, just to look at that because it does work. The issue of it is that you could consistently have to be testing and tweaking as well the whole time and watching the numbers. For me personally, I'm just going to get better on the close. So something I'm working on. So with that, I am complete.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That was an excellent share, right? So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Miss Pamela, because she is LOL, and I promised all of as was Bill, I promised all my LOL and Arena students that they would go first.
Well, thank you so much. So I am running the ads. My question today is I have the.
So let's back up.
Yeah, thank you.
What resource are we using just so that everyone can get value out of what
Yes, we're in the $7 program, phase 1, optimizing the flywheel. I have the ads running. I'm happy with the metrics of them. They're all under $1, some are under 20 cents. For the 25% or 95% views, depending on their CM or PC.
So under 20 cents per 25% view, you said?
I believe it's that one, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Good job. That's really great.
No comments or appointments. So I'm wondering, my question is, do I continue to optimize the flywheel every day in hope that I get the comments, or do I continue doing what I'm doing? I'm almost at the 1,000 views, and do I go to the next phase? And then because it's for an affiliate offer, it's getting quite expensive for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1 or 2 year to get my money back, but I'm okay with that too, right? So that's my question.
Yes. So most immediate constraint right now is not knowing the next step. So my question to you is, are you doing the retargeting part of phase 1, or are you just doing cold traffic right now?
Just cold. If I'm understanding correct, I need 1,000 views before I can move to that.
You need at least 1,000 people who've watched 25% of your videos or 95% of your conversion multipliers. I am pretty sure that you are there already, because I think last time we looked at metrics, I think you were like, what, in 2000, didn't you have like 2,000 people who watched 25%? No, not yet.
On the CMs, I'm at 9,263. And on the PCs, I am at 820.
Okay. You can start, you're, not to confuse anyone. So there's the cold traffic tier of phase one, and then there's the retargeting tier of phase one. Pamela, you're ready to do that second tier, which is going to be retargeting all of the people from the cold traffic campaigns. Something to keep in mind, we have to remember that it takes time, and that the actual magic happens at the retargeting level, right? Because there is a little bit of time, but your most immediate constraint that you need cash flow.
I can go 6 months. I'd feel comfortable going 6 months to get the data. 3 months would be better.
Because and this is just my 2 cents, I know Nick and I talked to you about maybe taking on a done
do that.
for you version of that, because I do think that you're gonna get one of those before your 6 months is up to be able to liquidate this ad
I
spend.
think as well.
If you have the time.
Right, and that would even out the cost. My question is, and this could absolutely just be mindset, so please bear with me. I'm
Yep.
questioning whether it will work for, and you're gonna kill me. I'm questioning whether or not it works for affiliate offers. So please just shut me down if that's nonsense.
Yeah, so I can easily ask that. I mean, I could easily answer that. Nick, didn't I just make like several thousands of dollars selling your affiliate products and partners this last month that we started running this? Yeah.
Okay, I
Yep.
knew it was nonsense. I'm going to say this, I've been incredibly ill and moving and exhausted, and my brain is not my friend at the moment. So she's a little bit worked up. So I apologize. I'm on the verge of tears for like 2 days, but I'm pushing through and showing up and just asking the best question I can. So thank you for your grace on this. I keep plugging along.
Yes, 100%. I'm going to add something, and I know Nick probably has something to add too. Building an audience is the ultimate cheat code, guys. Like, it
Yes.
is the ultimate cheat code. Like, I know sometimes in the very beginning, it seems like it's taking forever, but like, I'm on that point where it's like, I can just go and grab an affiliate partner, send it to my list, or put it in front of people because I have an audience. People will buy. Like, I've built an asset that I can literally use for 10, 20 years moving forward. It just took a while to get there. I don't think any of you guys see me as an affiliate marketer, but I am.
Yes.
Because I've built this platform. And so for you, Pamela, yes, it does work for affiliate marketing, obviously. Actually, one of the best affiliate marketers, Miles Beckler, just actually reached out to me and wants to do something. So yes, it works. It works really, really well.
So I don't have the audience. I've been underground. I've made a lot of money just relationship wise and wanting to go bigger. So that was absolutely my question. And I've got the staying power to keep going, and I do have the funding. I'm willing to invest for 6 months to just recoup. And then I still want to be on the affiliate leaderboard. Like, it's just, yeah. So, thank you for the feedback in the chat, everyone. That is my question today. I will watch the training on the next stages. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Nick, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope, nothing to add.
Awesome. Thanks, Pamela. Man, these are like some really good, like, are you guys enjoying this format? It's very, like, I'm really enjoying, like, just kind of like hearing y'all's process. Adrian.
Hello. So my resource is, I'm going to say the May ad blitz, because this ad comes from the ad blitz. It was a redone of an ad that I did from the March ad blitz.
Okay.
And as we've talked before, I'm trying to do things on a lower budget. And I would like to make this power content video like my main video, because it's showing promise compared to everything else. So right now, my KPIs for that video, it's on the archive folder, strategy, is 29 cents for costs per 25%. So definitely really good, but I obviously want to get that lower. And then my hold rate is at 12.52%, and my hook rate is at 53.78%. So really
job.
good metrics on there. So my question is, this has been running since, so it's about a month that this has been running. Do I continue to just let it run and see if the cost goes down? Do I need to reshoot it to do a different thing? Because this one does, there's been things I've learned since then. Like, I don't know if the, like, you know, a box around it with a clear, you know, some of that stuff. But my gut also says I'd rather work on conversion multipliers, because conversion multipliers right now are bringing in messages. All 3 that I did from this last ad blitz, I think I'm up to like 15 or 20. Like, I'm getting a lot. And so I'd rather just maybe let this run and just do a bunch of conversion multipliers. But seeing the KPIs, knowing that I'm actually doing ads and putting things out there, should I just not think about power content, let this run and just focus on conversion multipliers? And I need to do retargeting. I haven't done retargeting yet. My invisible list is at, where is it? Where did my ad manager go? Because I ran a power content a long time. Yeah, I'm at, from everything, I am at, video plays at 25% is 1700s, and the conversion multipliers is another like almost 300. So
Hang on, I'm looking for my calculator. So this is great. Like, so her main constraint is like, should she launch new power content? Should she just focus on conversion multipliers? So there's a little math that we have to figure out, right? Because the goal of power content is to bring in around 500 people into our invisible list, meaning we want around 500 people every single week to be watching our power content. If the cost is 29 cents, what's your budget for power content? Like your total budget for the month that you want to spend on power content. Do you want to stick to the $5 a day power content, or do you want to do the $10, like $10? What's your budget for power content?
Well, I was trying to stick to a $500 a month budget for everything together.
That makes sense.
And so I think when we had that small call from doing the homework from the Blitz, I was going to do 1 power content, like 1 or 2 conversion multipliers and 1 or 2 retargeting. So I was going to do the power content at $250 a day. But if it's also doing well and bringing people into my list, I'm okay upping that if it's performing well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't have to keep redoing power content and can focus on some of that other stuff. I can always come back and do more power content later.
Yep.
But
so here's what I would do. And this is just what I would do, right? I always want to spend less on Facebook ads. I'm greedy. Like, I don't want to spend more on Facebook ads, right? And so you're getting 29 cents per 25% video play. I would literally try to cut that down 29, like from 29 cents. My first goal would be, okay, can I get that below 20 cents? Right? How long, do you know how long that video is?
Give me a second and I'll find it. Oh, it's right around the 5-minute mark. Most of mine end up being almost exactly like 5 minutes.
Okay. So 29 cents, in order to get it, the cost per 25% view lower, right? We would either have to get to the content a little bit faster or make the content a little bit more captivating. So here's what I would do. If I can only afford to spend, because you want to leave budget for your retargeting, right? So if you have a $500 a month budget, here's what I always tell people, right? Spend $5 a day on power content, $5 a day on conversion multipliers. So that's going to be $300 a month, right? Just for those 2 $5 ads, $300 a month. Leave your extra $200 for testing. Now, this is how I would work. I would still be doing the flywheel, right? I would be doing power content, conversion multiplier, launch a power content, look at the stats. The next day, conversion multiplier, look at the stats. And I would literally just be going around in a circle and just like, okay, does this one beat 29 cents per 25% view? Nope. I'm going to turn that off. And the next day I'm going to launch another one. Will this beat it? I'm always trying to beat my best ad. You could easily do that with a $500 budget, right? Because you have your 2 at the top, $300, and then you have $200 under here to play with. So you have the budget to borrow from the $200 and launch another $5 ad and look at the metrics after a couple of days, because after a couple of days, you'll be able to see whether or not what's the cost per 25% video view And that's what I would literally do. I would literally do that. And so I would look at your conversion multiplier and I would look at, is there any way that we can optimize this to get more messenger conversations, right? Can we put a hook banner on it? Can we maybe, maybe promote the value bomb a little bit more off the top? What are all of these different points that I can do to get more people to comment? That's what I'm always constantly trying to do is, can I get this power content video even lower? Can I get even more conversations from this conversion multiplier? I'm literally just testing all the time, trying to beat my best ads.
Okay. So should I then, rather than focusing, because in this last ad blitz, I was thinking of new things to do power content on, maybe just see how I could optimize this one the best I could with different hooks, different call outs, but use the same content per se. Since it's showing that it's
because like
performing really well.
Absolutely. Because think about this, right? The threshold is 40%, right? For hook rate, you've got 53. If you did nothing else about the video except change the hook, what if you got a 70% hook rate? All of a sudden your hold rate gets better, your 25% costs get better. And so these are all of these little points that I'm looking at. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm always like looking at what is the small glimmer of hope in this data that I can improve on. That's gonna allow me to do another one instead of like trying to constantly recreate the wheel. That's the way that I do things. But you have plenty of budget to be able to move things around and test things.
Okay, one quick follow-up question. How long should I leave the testing on for to get the best data before I turn it off?
I do my 7-day flywheel all the time. But
if I'm only doing one power content, so if I'm leaving,
remember you're loading some more into test.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Cause that $200 budget helps me with the testing. Okay. That makes sense. Just every 1 day power content, 1 day conversion multiplier. And then, okay, I got it. I got a schedule going on in my brain. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. And if you need to stretch your budget a little bit, don't launch them at $5 a day, launch them at $2 a day.
Yeah.
You're still after 7 days going to have, going to at least be able to see your cost per 25% view.
Okay.
And this goes for anyone. Like if you don't have the $5 a day and you want to like just create your flywheel with $2 a day, that will work too. By the time the 7 days rolls around, you're going to start to see, at least you might not have a lot of 25% views, but you'll see the cost of the 25% views.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Laurel.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That was excellent. Everyone's been really excellent today. I'm super, super impressed. Austriana.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. So thank you for doing this, by the way. So I used a few of the resources. So I created a value bomb using the AI accelerator, which I just thought was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would test it out. And one of the ways in which my value bombs work best is by doing the static value bomb post. And so I posted that organically because I'm like at budget with ads, and ended up with comments, which was great. And then what I did is I can't remember whether it was in a training or a live, where one of the things that you do is you post a question like A, B, or like, are you like A, B, C, or D in there? So that was that. And then that's been helping get loads of comments, most people have responded to that. But then my question is that when I get into Messenger, then that's where the responses completely dip. And I think, well, I don't know, that it may be to do with the question that I'm actually asking next, because the question that I'm asking next has to do with like where they want to be, as opposed to probably continuing to focus on the problem. But I'm just wondering how I can improve my questioning in Messenger, because I found that my data shows that once I get people into a conversation, I can get about 60% onto a call and I will close about 35%. So if I just improve that questioning and get more people into a conversation, that will improve those.
I love how you know those numbers. That is so awesome, right? Because it's easy to see her most immediate constraint, right? Is that second question. Like it's so clear. She's not having issues getting comments. She's not having issues closing. She's not having any issues converting Messenger conversations to a call. So walk me through what is the first question that you're asking people?
The one in Messenger.
The one
or the one
whenever you give them when they're asking for the value bomb, what's the first question you ask them?
Yeah, so I mean I can share my screen because it's a little bit can I share my screen so I can
Absolutely,
show you it?
please do. Yeah. I love show and tell. It's even better.
I put it in, I put it, I'm a teacher, so I put everything into a little Google Docs. It's crap. So that's the value bomb. And then this is the initial question that I'm asking.
Okay. So which of the following applies when it comes to revision your child struggles most with? Motivation, getting distracted. Your answer. Okay, cool. So okay, so then you then they answer what? What's the one that you want?
So they're either answering A, B, C, or D. This person responded with struggling. I think this person responded with C or D, and this is the question that I then asked. This is what I then responded with.
What grade is your child trying to progress to? He would like to achieve 8 to 9. Okay. So
And then moved
progress
here, and then that's when the question that's when like nobody then responds after that.
Okay, that's great. So how was his progress? How has his progress been this last half term? What is he working at the moment? What is he working on at the moment, or what?
Like what grade is he working at? So they're graded like 1 to 9, 9 being top.
Oh,
so I'm trying to work out, because she wants him to get a grade 9. I'm trying to work out what that gap is.
Yeah. So I try to give them, like, I try to give them as many answers as possible, because sometimes they don't know how to answer a question like this, or because like there's not a lot of context. Like me, I was like, wait, I don't understand that last, like, what is he working at the moment? I don't, like, that kind of like, I wouldn't know what that means. Maybe your audience does, but is there a way here that would have given her better choices to choose from, so that the conversation, I always like to drive the conversation. And so I try to give people answers to choose from in those first couple, because I'm trying to get enough data, because once you have the data, right, you said 60% of messenger conversations you can get to on a call. So what data would you need her to give you in order to work your magic to get them on the call?
I need to know like what their current problem is, as specific as possible, where their goal is, and what they've tried, so that then I can show them, basically, if we get on a call, this is what I can show you.
So that's what that next question needs to be. Like, give them some choices, like, hey, like, if I know these questions, the chances of me being able to help you go up with each of these, the way that you answer each of these questions. And so like, one, what is this, like, most of my clients say this or this, would that be, does that sound like your child, or something like that, to where it's, you know, it's a little bit more where you're driving it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's really, that's like my brain, that's like, you fixed it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're so close. Like, I love whenever all we have to do is fix this one thing.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We've got Kat, and then Jay is the last one with his hand up. So we'll try to squeeze these last two in the next 6 minutes, and yeah, let's do it. Kat.
Hey, okay, I'm going to try to go super fast if I can. I just got introduced to you 3 weeks ago. My business has been going for 10 years. I took Thank you. I took the past 2 years off to handle a health crisis in our family. So I'm just jumping back into the business. Luckily, we have 480 members who are paying between like 40 and 95 a month for
what do you do?
We target a very specific niche of board certified music therapists. There are only 10,000. And so I am on day 9 of the flywheel. We're hitting major KPI. I mean, it's like 13 cents to 16 cents. You know, so like they already know us, right? And it's great. I mean, you're like, oh, hook rate needs to be over 40. It's like we're hitting 60 to 70.
He's like, your KPIs, we've already blown.
And I don't say that to brag. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, right? People know me, know our stuff, right? But what my question is, because I'm nervous, I'm just jumping back into the business. It was dormant for 2 years, right? So we have never closed sales in Messenger to get customers. Like, we've always just sent emails and people just buy because it's something that's required for them to continue.
Let me wrap my head around it. So you're on day 9. So the flywheel is the resource.
Yes. So I'm
what
off
you guys
to
did,
the
you
flight.
launched that, and then now what happened was we're on day 9.
Yes.
And are you getting comments? Are you getting, I'm assuming you're
Over
getting
200, over 200 I can't, and I told my team at the meeting, I'm like, who wants to help me? And everybody's like, no, they do operations. They don't do marketing. So I'm like, oh, okay. If nobody's going to be like me, then I'm going to do it because I want this to be successful. So I'm doing it. I'm spending hours every day, like, blah, 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 and it's
Okay.
great. It's awesome. I love these people. And so the thing is, here's the deal. The value bombs that I put out there, I knew would get a lot of conversations, a lot of, what I didn't, the gap was, oh, our $95 a month program is not a natural flow. So I'm like, oh crap. So what do I offer? Right. So my question is, do I, you're just going to tell me to engage the field and try and test and try. I get that, but I just want some validation for,
I'm trying to figure out, so what's the most, so you've gotten 200 messenger conversations.
over. Yeah.
Okay.
Over that.
What is the most immediate constraint when it comes to that?
Okay. So I was talking to my right hand, Beth. I was like, maybe we should just do a sprint next week and do like a super low. We've never done a low ticket offer.
Okay, let's back up. Help me understand what the issue is. You've gotten 200 conversations. Where are you stuck? What is it that you're trying? Is it because you don't know what to do with those 200?
I don't know what to offer them. Do I offer them the 95 thing? Or do what? Or do I do the low ticket?
Okay, great question. The whole point of these messenger conversations is to diagnose what is their most immediate problem and then sell them whatever is the right thing for them.
Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the low ticket offer, give them like this $15 thing. It's a 3-day thing next week. And then in the sales process, I'm going to upsell them to the mid-tier membership. And then if they say yes, I'm going to upsell them to the $2,000 mentorship. But if, and so I think I'm going to try that and test it. And I guess the reason I just wanted to get on here is just, I just wanted to get validation that could be the right next step. Like
100. Well, the next step is to talk to these people in Messenger and figure out.
Oh, I know what their problem is.
So that's why we have that diagnostic Messenger flow is so you know what to sell them, because some people are gonna not need your low ticket thing. They're gonna need your higher ticketed thing. And that's why I love about messenger conversations, is because it gives us flexibility. We're not pitching someone a specific thing in Messenger. We're just selling them what they actually need.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think I mean, oh my gosh, like I think I have it pinpointed, but it was weird because when I realized what everybody needs, it's like, that's not in our mid-tier program. So I have to create this lower thing to get them in. And then like, yeah, okay. So I just wanted to get validation that could be a right next.
Consider that it's a validated great next step, because we don't know whether or not they'll actually take it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, no, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here, Kat, and it's great to meet you. That's a really great niche that you're in.
Thanks.
Yeah. Jay, we've got a couple minutes, so let's get Jay taken care of, and let's take this call home.
All right, so hopefully I got time to go over this. So we sell high ticket and group coaching. I've watched your whole program.
Okay,
I totally understand.
So let's talk about like resource. What did you do and what happened?
Resource as in, maybe I came late to the call. Let me read the chat.
Yeah. So the way that this call format goes is, what resource, like what training did you watch?
Mm-hmm.
What actions did you take from the training? And then what happened? And is this a share or is it a solve a problem?
Yeah, so solve. So the training, I watched all the training. What did I execute? It can't be
all the training. What is the specific training that you watched that we're going to talk about today?
It's just kind of like a high level overview of like what direction it should go in next.
So that's not what this call is about. This call is about what specific training or did you watch? What specific action did you execute on? What happened and how can we help you fix it? So we had, like, as you noticed, every single person said, I watched this training, and this is what happened. That's the way that these calls go. It's not just about, oh, I watched all of the training.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe
this isn't
then,
this isn't an open Q&A call.
okay.
But no, like, so what training?
You
would
can
do this?
you can also think of this, and I know we're going to go over, we're going to a little bit over time. You can think, okay, what is the last thing that I tried? Okay, so what is that last thing you tried? And then you can back into, well, what resource? Why did I try that? Because I watched this training. So this is the last thing I tried. This is what happened. Now what? Right now I need help on the next thing.
I basically just went over everything to see if this was a good fit for our model. And then I fully understand how it all works. And I didn't want to start everything not knowing a couple of the answers to the questions.
Okay, so that is not appropriate for this call, because this call, as the rules were laid out in the event, it's not an open Q&A, it's an execution. So you have to have at least implemented something for this particular call.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is good for the Ask Laurel thread, or for just, this is one of those where it's an engage the field call. We do have calls that are open Q&A. This is just not one of them.
All right.
But yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Great call. Yeah, great call today, guys. Like, did you guys like this format? Like, it's, and, I just want to kind of like, reiterate, like, it's all about, like, it's not hypothetical, right? We can't base what's going to happen with us by just like using, someone else's data. And so that's why it's super important that we have calls like this, right? Because we had a couple of wins, like Mr. Bill, he had a win. Andrea, like, had a win from like being able to, because sometimes the win is not about, oh, I landed a client. Sometimes a win is, Laurel, you just saved me X amount of money from running this funnel whenever this funnel is not going to support my budget, right? Sometimes the win is, we saved you time, or we saved you money. So thank you guys so much for being here. Nick, thank you so much for being, and being with us, and we value your time, and we value you being here, and I value you as well. So, hopefully we can do another call like this. I do want to start doing them more often, because it's just so amazing to see how you guys are executing and things that are happening. And it's good for me too, right? To see how you guys are moving through the program. So thank you guys, everyone, for being here, and we will have the replay up shortly.